All right, ladies. I'm gonna break down two videos. We had the Davenport team from San Antonio. They were 6-2 entering the tournament, so they're pretty good. And we're gonna compare it to the Westlake game, who were 13-0, and they're awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the film so y'all kind of start learning how to look at the stats and it means something to you. Just so you know, it's pretty simple. Every possession, there's four things that happen. There's going to either be a rebound, a score, a foul, or a turnover. Right now, if you're on offense for us, our priority list, if we're on offense, goes we want to score first. If we don't, we want to rebound. If we don't do that, we want to draw a foul, so we're shooting free throws or keeping the ball. And then the last thing we want to happen is a turnover. If we're on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of those things just switch. The first thing you want is a turnover. The second thing is you want to play really good sound defense, block out, get a rebound. All right. And then the next thing you want is a foul. That's why we're in transition. I'm like, take one. I'd rather you foul them, make them take it out. We get in our set defense. And then the last thing we want is a score. So we're going to look at these stats with things being that simple. And I want to talk about kind of where we want our percentages to be, um, when we're doing a lot of those things. So first against the Davenport team, we won 55-41. All right. The first thing that, I'm looking at based on like what we've talked about is where our shots are coming from. So we took 12 of 25 twos. Now, where did those twos come from? We go down here. This is at the rim right here. So we went 7 to 10. They went 3 for 11. So we did a good job of walling up. Great job there. Um, And the further, just like you might expect, the further you get from the rim, the lower your percentage gets. Short mid range, which we practice those a lot, 5'11. They were 7 to 17. So we shot a bit higher percentage than them on that. And this is why we don't take a bunch of long mid ranges, especially off the dribble. 0 for 4, 1 for 3. That's going to be across the board at every level. So you don't like willingly take those. That's why, like, if I pull a kid out the game for willingly taking multiple of those, and that's why there's so few of them from good teams. Like, they're a good team. So they only took three. We're a good team. Then we only took four. And then finally, let's go up to the 3 point. And okay, we shot a free throw percentage almost 10 for 17. We got hot, and they shot 4 of 14. And I think that's where the game was because when you look at the free throws, 1 for 2 and 7 for 15. Now we want to get to the line a lot more, but this is kind of expected until Shiloh decides to be a lot more aggressive. These numbers are going to remain the same, and you're going to have to outplay them in other areas. All right, so aggression, Shiloh, better passing, better pump fakes under the rim from like Caden and people down there that's taking a lot of 2 pointers and then getting into their body. So it's going to take some reps, but at the end of the day, our ultimate goal is actually to do what they did, which is why us winning the game so convincingly is so odd to me looking at these box scores. We want to make more free throws than the other team attempt. They made 7, we only attempted 2. So they're on the other side of where we want to be. So I want you guys to think about that and think about ways and things in practice that you need to be working on to change this percentage. You change this percentage, this changes your whole season. You're a completely different team. So now we want to go all the way down and we're going to go to this stat, transition points. This is actually a really high game for us, 10 points, and they had 14 transition points. We're going to look at some of the video clips in the Westlake video so we can kind of break down how many of those fast break points can we are really just our fault, us not getting back, us getting a live ball turnover for no reason. All right, so let's move it over to the Westlake game. One more stat before I move over. Another big stat. The defensive rebound stat can be a bit deceiving. Like it looks like we out rebounded them, but really we do play really good defense. Like we wall up. We're making you shoot over our heads, things like that. And so because they miss a lot more shots and take way more shots than we do, we have more defensive rebounds available to us. So that's depending on the game a little skewed, but 9 and 11 offensive boards, I can work with that. Um, Being like the depth we have, we only have 5 girls out there with the two younger girls, so I could deal with this. That's fine. All right, so let's flip it. So now we're on Westlake game. So let's go back to see like what our goals were for the Westlake game. Um, One of the things is our 1-3-1, the way we're playing defense, it's designed to make you shoot mid ranges. If they make the mid range on us over our head, that is on me. That is on our style, our system. That is not on you. So we want to take away threes, and then we do not want them scoring at the rim. And one of the ways, and the boys do it a ton, we don't take enough risks. So I don't want y'all to feel like this is a complete compliment, but our goal going in is if they're about to take a shot, I don't want you jumping past the ball and then they scoring right past us. They need to score over your head. They do that, hey, shake their hand. All right, so let's go down to this mid range, not those stats. So first of all, just look at the scoring opportunities. Uh, let's go back to how many possessions we wanted the game to be. We wanted the game uh, to be basically we wanted to control the pace, and what I considered a good possession would be if we made them make at least three or more passes. Really, four is what I said, but three or more passes before they shoot. That would be a good defensive possession for us, and that would cook a lot of clock. For us, we needed to throw some dummy passes. And in the next video, I'm going to show you some of those and how we didn't do that as well as we should, because I think scoring opportunities for them should have been at 39. And we had a big number of 49. So if you change that alone, this final score right here, where we at? I think it would have been more like, and keep in mind, this is Westlake. They're gonna be in the state tournament. I think they have in the 30s, mid to low 30s, and I think we're probably gonna finish in the low 20s like we did if we take some of those possessions out. And that's a different kind of game. And so that's why we got to like remind each other and stick to like our game plan to make sure we could do it. But let's get down. So at the rim twos, they went 11 for 17, completely expected. The size difference was obvious on film. Like I'm looking at the video and I'm like, wow, they're way bigger than us. And we went 5 for 8. So I understand why we can get to the rim. Um, there's nothing really to say there. Short mid range, that's kind of for us a good possession because we shot more mid ranges because of their length because we were probably going to get blocked. So I see why we were forced to take those shots. They were 2 of 7. And then along mid range, 1 of 2. Smart. We didn't take that many. They took a lot more than us. 2 of 5. And these are the shots we want them to take. So that's fine with me. And then let's go back up to the 3-point shooting. 2 of 14. We didn't shoot it. I think the Davenport game was an outlier game. I mean, 10 for 17 is crazy. And then they went 2 for 17. So defensively, I mean, y'all are impressive. All right. And one of the things I want y'all to also look at is the turnovers. So last game against Davenport, we had 21 turnovers. And what did Davenport? Davenport had 13. So basically, we want to flip this number. So remember, I said if we're on offense, we want to score first, rebound, get fouled, or turnover. Well, we're killing about almost half of our possessions just off of these. All right. And they're only killing, we're killing 40% of our possession, but they're killing only 23% of theirs. So we got to make sure that we're taking care of business there. And then the offensive rebound. So this is how teams shoot more than you. They either turn you over, right? So you don't get to shoot and they do, or they get offensive rebounds. So again, all this stuff is pretty predictable based on who we're matched up with. And these are the stats we're going to do a video on. They had 17 points in transition. We had 2. We were slowing the game down. That makes sense. They should have had about 8 if we would have did the right things that I know y'all are capable of. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another video. Make sure y'all kind of learn to look at these box scores. There's a lot in it, but it tells you a lot about like I said before. Every game, all it does for me anyway is help build my next practice and training plan, and then we come to the next game better than before. And I don't want to take light to this because this is Westlake. The fact that y'all lost by 18, just to give y'all some flowers without y'all getting big head, we held them to the lowest points of their season. They are now, 15 or 16-0. Nobody made them score 41 points. So y'all did do a good job at making them play the style that y'all wanted them to play. and they were not like pressuring us. So I thought again we could have took offensive possessions out. But all in all, this is a really good game. You should keep your heads up. We never lose twice. We never lose on the scoreboard and the teachable moments. All this right here are the teachable moments that let us know exactly where our shortcomings are and where we need to go. And if this game don't give you confidence, I don't know what will. I'll see y'all in the next video.